What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Courtside podcast. Happy Tuesday. We hope you're all doing well, staying safe, staying warm, and had a great and blessed New Year's. In today's video, we are going to be talking about all the OG Anunoby trade, how does it impact both the Knicks and the Raptors, as well as the primetime games for Week 10 of the NBA season, plus recapping the Suns' big threes first ever win and discuss how dangerous they could be. And then we're going to be discussing which of these 20 players deserve an all-star starter, an all-star reserve, or not even an all-star. Then we're going to do our courtside hierarchy for Week 10 of the NBA season. And then we are going to be ending the night with doing our NBA Immaculate Grid of the Day. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn that post notification bell, like this video, and comment down below what you think of it. And without further ado, let's get the show on the road. So let's talk about this OG Anunoby trade. Obviously, it was kind of early than most of the trades. The Raptors got RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, and the Knicks got OG Anunoby, just straight up, no picks added. Let's talk about the Raptors' perspective. I think we also said that the Raptors need to get somewhat young. Luca, where do you think? Like, how would you think? Like, what are your thoughts about this trade?
Uh, Personally, I think the Knicks did a good pickup for OG Anunoby. Uh, and I don't know, Toronto. I think they got some good people to help them out, but they're definitely gonna need a little more juice to help them later on.
Cole, what about you? What is your biggest takeaway from this trade?
Jason, can you mute yourself, please?
And then you fork. Oh, this is sensational.
Jason, thanks. Yeah, I'd agree with like pretty much everything Lucas said. I think, it's a big deal for the Raptors and the whole NBA as a whole. So
I think for me personally, my biggest takeaway was that like I think now the Knicks have like now their uh uh have their shutdown defender, like because like let's face it, when you're in a conference with like Jason Tatum, Damian Lillard, Giannis, Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, even like you're gonna need a shutdown defender that can shut down these guys. And I think one thing that I think the Knicks did, they got OG Anunoby, who I think was the best player during this like trade deadline scenario. But yeah, so let's talk about the Knicks, considering the Knicks are kind of a better team than the Raptors per se. Where does this stack up for the Knicks in terms of them in the East? Like, obviously, we talked about this last episode. Boston, Milwaukee, and maybe Miami and Philly are like the kings of the East. Where do you guys see the Knicks with this OG Anunoby trade? Cole?
yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's going to help the Knicks in the short term, but in the East, there's just still so many dominant teams. Celtics, um, and
Bucks.
some others. So yeah,
Luca,
exactly.
what about you? Do you
I definitely feel it puts them on the contending list for the East. After picking up this good defenseman, that's what they need to honestly be able to match up against the Celtics and all.
Yeah. I personally think that this is like a huge upgrade. Now, obviously, I don't think they could beat necessarily like Boston and Milwaukee because like they're in the tier of their own. But I do think now they kind of match up well with certain teams in the East, like a team like an Orlando, of Brooklyn, of Philly. Like I think they kind of match up well with. But anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on the OG and OB trade for both sides? Let us know in the comment section below. But without further ado, discuss our first primetime game after the Christmas break, the Pacers and the Rockets. Pacers won 123 to 117. Tyrese Halliburton having another stellar game. Do you guys think the Pacers can make a legitimate, can be one of those teams that can upset a top seed in the East or not? Luca, I'll start with you.
I think it all just comes down to how they're feeling and how they're playing that day. Because overall, it's all about consistency against those teams, and they haven't entirely showed that consistency well with their record right now.
Mhm.
but they do have all the variables needed to perform well.
And moving on to Cole, like, what about you? Do you think the Pacers are going to be one of those teams that are going to be, you know, beating a top 4 seed in the East if they get in the playoffs? Obviously, a huge deal if they make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think that question kind of answers itself. If, they're barely on the bubble to make the playoffs, I really don't think they're going to be beating any of the top teams. You got people like Buddy Hield and TJ McConnell, and I just don't think they're doing all that much.
I personally think that they can, but they gotta stay healthy and they gotta, it all depends on matchups. Like I always say, it all depends on who they get in the playoffs. I think if they get like someone like maybe Orlando, New York on a bad day, Atlanta, like I think they kind of match up well with certain teams. And then moving on, we got the Hornets and the Clippers. The Clippers,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
Thanks, Jason.
yeah, Jason. The Hornets and the Clippers. Are we ready to say now? Because I think all of us have been the harshest critic with the Clippers. Are they, when they're healthy? Okay, that's the key words. When they're healthy, can they make some noise in the West if they're healthy? Luca?
They definitely can, but as you said, if they're healthy, a lot of them, they're old, not they're almost fossils, I will say. They got a lot of experience and a lot of skill, but the problem is with that age, you can't be playing at the highest level all the time, which really can hurt them.
Mhm. Cole, what about you?
Um, yeah, I think that's a pretty good point. I think a lot of old heads on the team, and they might be good for another season or two, but I think that's about it.
Yeah, for me, you guys know out of the 4 of us, I've been the harshest of the harshest. I do think they kind of match up well personnel wise. The only concern I have with this team moving forward, though, is their bench. Because if you guys remember earlier in the season, they traded away for James Harden. They traded away like pretty much their entire reserves for James Harden. So I'm curious to see how it all works out, But I do think if this team is healthy, I do think personnel wise they kind of match up well. Jason, are you ready to say if the Clippers can stay healthy, can they pose some problems in the West?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of them staying healthy,
Okay.
Great
That
point,
was
Jason.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
Sorry, my voice is a little down because I broke my finger yesterday and had to go to the hospital.
oh, God, whatever. Anyway, moving on to the next slate of games. We have let me look. My doc doesn't seem to be working. Let me see. Personnel wise, let's take a look at this for a second. Let's talk about the next slate of games. Let's talk about. Let me figure out the Suns and the Rockets. Obviously, the Suns probably won this game. Are you guys? I don't know if you guys were on this train, but I was. Are you guys willing to say if this Suns team can stay healthy, they are probably the team that Denver should fear the most in the West, talent wise. Luca.
Yeah, most definitely. Denver doesn't really have anybody in the West to oppose them other than the Suns. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm. And Cole, what about you? I know you've been the harshest critic for Phoenix, but like if they're healthy and they're playing well, are you willing to say they are probably the more dangerous in terms of teams that can beat Denver in a best of 7 series?
Yeah, I would say they are pretty dangerous, so I think
You also
I
have the
would agree with
Lakers,
that.
though. The
Oh yeah,
Lakers, you
that's
can't
true.
count them
Lakers,
out.
yeah. But the thing is, the worry some about the Lakers is how aggressive is Anthony Davis? Like we know what we're gonna get with LeBron. If AD is aggressive, yes, I would put Lakers and the Suns as the team that gives the Nuggets fits in the playoffs.
Mhm.
Peeking over, we got the Cavs and the Mavericks. if you want to talk about a team that's really confusing to figure out, it's this team right here. This team just does not make any sense. Like every time I watch the Cavs, they play well. All right, one night and then the next night they they play like terrible. That's the nicest way to put it. Luca, I'll start with you on this. Can the Cavs make the playoffs, and how good can they be when the playoffs come around? Because last year, if you remember, they were a first round exit.
Yeah, I feel like they have a chance making the playoffs. They just really have to step up their game right now. But other than that, it's just going to be coming down to the experience all the other teams have in the playoffs so far compared to their experience. And also their bench. They need to have some good people on the bench to help line up against the other teams.
Cole, what about you? Do you think the Cavs can make the playoffs this spring?
I think if they keep it up, I think they can make the playoffs.
Yeah. I think for me, I don't know what's up with this team. This team is like probably the most confusing team to figure out in terms of like how good are they actually? So we'll see what happens, but I'm with you guys. If they make the playoffs, I think they're scary. So moving on, we have the next slate of games. Hold on, my ESPN thing is loading as we speak. All right, we got Boston against Detroit. Now, Detroit nearly won this game, but in the end, Boston won it. Like, even though we knew that Detroit won a game eventually, but this has got to be, in terms of like their losing streak, this one's got to be the worst. Like they were playing so well against Boston. Like what more can I say? Like this team
Mhm.
played so hard and like they end up losing to Detroit to Boston. Like that's got to be. Wouldn't you guys say this was their worst loss out of their entire losing streak?
Yeah, especially since they made it to overtime. Like
Perhaps one of the
even
worst
though
I've ever seen.
even though they eventually got the win a couple days later,
Yeah.
this Pistons team, they just need to finish the game. It seems like when it comes down to the fourth quarter, they kind of just lose all of their edge.
Yeah. And peeking over to the nightcap, we got the Heat and the Warriors. All right. And I believe Jimmy wasn't playing in this game, or I think he probably went out before the game was over. Are we ready to say right now Miami belongs in the top upper echelons of the teams that no one in the East should fear? Like we know Boston and Milwaukee, they are the top two. But like, can we put Miami up there, or do we have to see another month or two to see them? Luca, I'll start with you.
I'd say Miami definitely is showing signs that they could be up there. I'd personally put them up there, but they, depending on how this next month goes, it could really tell you how they will perform in the playoffs. And
Cole,
also,
yeah.
Steph Curry's washed. He's washed right now.
True, true.
All
He's
right.
washed. Klay Thompson washed. Come on. What are we doing here?
All right. Cole, what about you? Because I believe you said, Cole, I can't remember which episode it was. You said Miami is not there yet. Are you ready to change your mind, or do you need another month to be convinced that Miami does belong in that top two?
Yeah, I would say I don't need another month, much less, even one more day. I think Miami's at that point. Yeah, I would probably put them in the top three in the East right now.
Really? Okay. Yeah, Jason, what's your take on Miami? Like, do you
Yeah,
think they
I think Miami's good, but I think they need to play some tougher opponents. I mean, the
they
Warriors
play
weren't.
tougher opponents? It's just like I don't know. It's just tough to see this team. Like, this team is going to be good. This team is going to be good. And then moving on, yet again, we got obviously one of the matchups. We got the Bucks and the Cavs. All right, this game was very interesting. I would say, like this game, like I thought going into it was gonna go either way, but in the end, Milwaukee just absolutely won it in a nail biter. I would say in a nail biter. Uh, are you? I don't even know. this is the problem I have with the Caps. They're good and then they're bad and then they go back and forth. But for the Bucks standpoint, since they were the better team, are we like where do you guys think the Bucks need to improve? Like, what is your if there was a flaw from Milwaukee, what is it, Luca? I'll start with you.
Their defense easily. That's straight to it. Their defense. They need one more person to help fill in that role because they don't seem to be able to lock down on defense. But they did get the 40-point run in the third quarter, which was kind of nasty.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think anytime you put up 40 points in the third in any quarter, even this team is like you're great. Cole, what about you? What do you think the Bucks like? Do the Bucks need to do anything to? What do you think they need to do?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like there's all that much that the Bucks need to do. I feel like maybe a little more cohesion among the team to get them working better with each other. But yeah, maybe if like Dame started doing better, if he was just a better player overall, then maybe they'd really start winning some games. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm with Luke on this one. They got to figure out a way to get a shutdown defender because if they don't get a shutdown defender, I think we can all agree that no matter if Giannis or Dame combine for like 80 or 90 points, they're not beating Boston. Like, I think we can all agree they're not beating Boston. Like, if they don't get a shutdown defender, and that to me was the reason why I thought that they lost this trade with like the Drew Holiday trade. Yes, they got Dame, but like if you look at the Bucks overall as a team, their bread and butter has always been they've always been a great defensive team, and Drew was always their shutdown defender. He was their shutdown defender, but now he's gone, and it's just tough. It's just very tough to see it. But anyway, moving on, we got the Grizzlies and the Clippers. I mean, let's talk about the Grizzlies because we know what the Clippers are. We already just discussed about the Clippers. Um, can the Grizzlies fight for a play-in spot? Because right now, if you look at the West standings right now, let's talk about.
All right, boys, I gotta go. My girlfriend's calling me.
Let's talk about the.
Jason, are you serious?
Let's talk
Yeah,
about the.
I gotta
Let's
go
talk
hang out
about
with
the. All right, let's talk about the Clippers. All right, I mean the Grizzlies. All right, because obviously this team, they're fighting in every single game. Can they make a wild card? Can they make not a wild card spot? Can they make a play-in spot, or is this season already over? Luca, I'll start with you.
For me, I think the season's over for them. They just gotta take it, finish strong, and just work on rebuilding for next year.
Cole.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think you're 10-21, and it's kind of over. They just got to accept it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly say it's also over. Like it's just painful because like none of us like did any of you guys think like when I think they went like 6-15 to start the season. Did any of you guys think like I thought it was gonna be bad without Ja for like a quarter of a season, but like when they went 6-15, I thought, yeah, this team is done. Wouldn't you guys say this team was like done? So like,
I thought they were already kind of done at the start because of how Ja was playing. Like, even though he's a good player, all he's been doing hasn't really been putting him on the court as much. So I thought that was definitely going to affect the entire team.
Right. Yeah. But that's our biggest takeaways. Now, for the first game on New Year's Day, we got the Timberwolves and the Knicks. Let's talk about the Knicks. All right. Obviously, this team played really well. This was actually, fun fact, this was actually OG Anunoby's first game as a New York Knick, which is crazy to believe. The Knicks, they won. Julius Randle had 39 points. He went off. Are we ready to say right now that the Knicks could get frisky, dangerous in the playoffs, or is it going to depend on who they play in the playoffs? Paul, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think it really depends. I do see them in a pretty serious threat though at times. Teams like the Sixers and some of
Yeah.
the other teams on the East Coast. I think it's gonna be tough when they play the Knicks.
Luca, what about you?
Yeah, definitely the last, I'd say, 5 games, the Knicks have definitely been turning it up, probably even before that, but they definitely can. It's gonna be dependent on the teams they play against. Like if you look at the score, even though they held the Timberwolves to 17 in the second, they were held for 18 in the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
So it really just asks you how they didn't finish strong off that game.
Yeah.
But they were also playing a very good matchup against themselves that game.
Yeah, that was probably their best. I think that was a great win. So that's going to be us recapping week 10 of the NBA season. Let us know what was your biggest takeaway and what are your thoughts about the Knicks. So now we're going to talk about obviously the biggest news of them all. We're going to talk about the Suns game again, their second game of the big three, the Devin Booker, the Bradley Beal, and the Kevin Durant. Obviously, granted, it was against the Blazers. Let's talk about this Suns team. All right. Obviously, there's been a lot of expectations for this team to play well. I know we just talked about them, but how dangerous can they be in the playoffs if all three of them can stay healthy? Like, how dangerous can they be? Like, Luke, I'll start with you.
I'd say they're going to be a tough team to compete against, but the other teams that are on top of them right now in either conference are very formidable opponents. So I'd say it's either their win if they're playing extremely on their game and extremely hard, but you don't know if that's going to cost them the next game in the series. So
It's true.
definitely it's up for grabs for me with that team.
Mm-hmm. Cole, what about you? I know you've been the harshest critic about Phoenix with this big three. How dangerous is this team when they're all fully healthy?
Yeah, I think they're definitely a danger. That's for sure. I mean, they have, a lot of the goats on their team, D Book, um, Kevin Durant, if you want to put him up there. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, for me, you guys know I've been like bandwagon the Suns this past whole season. Like a lot, I'm gonna say they are the most. If I'm a top three seed in the West, give or take, if let's say I would not want to face Phoenix in the first round, especially if Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant are playing really well. This is a team like, yeah, like they gotta take them seriously, So I think they're very dangerous moving forward. But yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts about the Suns' big three? Let us know in the comments section below. So coming up right now, we are going to be doing our NBA Immaculate Grid of the Day. Actually, no, we're going to decide which of these 20 players are All-Star starter, All-Star reserve, and non-All-Star. So basically, the All-Star break is coming up next month. But we decided to just decide which players deserve to be an All-Star, not an all-star or an all-star reserve. So the way it works is I'm going to be asking Cole and Luca all-star type players, and they're going to tell me where they fall in by February. So let's start with Nikola Jokic. Where do you guys see Jokic? Starter, reserve, or not an all-star? I think we can all agree he's a starter.
Starter.
Cole?
Yeah, starter.
All
Only
right.
choice.
Giannis. Starter.
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 All right. Joel Embiid. Starter.
Definitely starter.
This one's a little less definitive than the previous two for me, but I still have to go starter.
Yeah. KD. Now keep in mind when he's healthy, he's a metahuman. I say it's hard because there's a lot of great forwards in the West, but I say he's a starter.
Yeah. I was leaning a little more towards reserve, but they're gonna put him on starter. So yeah, just give him starter.
Cole.
Yeah, probably starter.
All right. Probably the toughest one so far, Steph Curry. Because
They're gonna make him a starter, but he hasn't been playing like one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think Steph deserves starter this year, in my
I think
opinion.
they'd at least give him reserve. I don't think he deserves a starter.
all right. Jason Tatum, starter.
Easy starter.
Starter Cole.
Yeah, starter.
All right. Jaylen Brown. I say reserve. I think Jalen's gonna make a reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely he will.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I know what the answer for this one is. LeBron James, starter.
Starter. Yeah.
Primetime MVP, everything.
Yep.
All
Nothing
right.
more to say.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. This one's tough. I think this one's tough. I say starter. I think Shea deserves to be a starter. You guys?
Yeah, the way the media has also been like portraying him, he's definitely like a starter move for them.
Yeah. Cole, are you ready to? Where are you?
Yeah, I would say starter too. Or,
All right.
actually, no. I don't know. Probably not, actually. I'm not sure.
Really? All right.
He could be. It's a
Yeah.
50-50 or something.
Anthony Edwards. This one's tough.
I think reserve.
Reserve, yeah, I would say reserve just because there's like kind of a lot of competitive guards in the West this year. So I would say reserve.
Mhm.
Cole?
Yeah, I think reserve too.
All right. Anthony Davis, reserve, easily.
Really? Even if he's healthy?
Even if he's healthy, yeah, reserve.
Definitely.
Mm,
I'd say reserve too. I think just because of some of the games where he went insane starter, but other than that, compared to everyone else, he's a reserve.
Yeah. Cole?
yeah, I think that's a fair take.
All right. Devin Booker,
I say reserve.
reserve, yeah, reserve. There's just so many guards in the West this year that are playing like at an insane rate, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah,
All right.
true.
De'Aaron Fox. This one's hard. I would say
I'd say
reserve.
reserve.
Yeah, reserve. Cole, you reserve as well for Devin Booker?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely a reserve.
all right. Luka Doncic, starter.
Easy starter.
Yeah, starter.
All right.
Boy,
Dame Dalla. This one's
starter.
hard. I think this one's the hardest.
Thing is, they're gonna definitely give him the starter because of just how wild that trade was too. And he's been throwing up like 30, 40 point nights.
Yeah, I would say starter as well. Cole.
Yeah, I think starter.
All right. Tyrese Halliburton. Now keep in mind, Tyrese has been cooking. And I mean
Mhm.
cooking like cooking. I would say he's a starter this year.
I'd say starter. I could see why they put him on reserve, but he'll at least be on.
Yeah.
All right. Tyrese Maxey. Now this one I think is hard because if you guys remember, Maxey's been balling. You know,
Hmm.
I would say
Okay.
reserve.
I'd agree with that.
Cole, are you with us on Maxey?
Yeah, I think it's close, but yeah, I think I have to go reserve.
Yeah. Trey Young, reserve.
Reserve.
All right. Trey Young. Did we already do Trey or
We just did him.
all right? A lot of people have been saying it. I've been all over social media. Everyone's been saying it. Derek White. I don't think he's an all-star, but I can see Derek participating in an all-star event this year. I really do.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be starter. Any other option other than starter?
Yeah. All right. Jalen Brunson.
They're gonna put him as a starter, no doubt.
All right.
Yeah.
So who do you guys think is a starter, reserve, or not an all-star? Let us know in the comment section below. So next up, hold on, let me see if I can find it. All right. We're gonna do our NBA Immaculate Grid of the night. Hold on, I have to do something quickly.
Are we not
Let's
doing the courtside hierarchy?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that. I realized we didn't touch based on that yet. Let's go over our courtside hierarchy. There's a lot of teams that I think should make the list. I just have to see what they have to say. What the other boys have to say. All right. So last week was a very interesting list, I would say. There was a lot of teams that we obviously saw it could go either way. But now, like, Yeah, it's been a crazy week for us, considering there was a lot of great moves in the playoffs. But yeah, we're gonna get to our courtside hierarchy. Give me 1 second. I have to remove all this because it's a new week. Um, all right, let us know what you guys think should be the courtside hierarchy predictions for this week are, and let us know if you agree or disagree with. All right, let's start with at number 10. Honestly, I think right now, boys, I want to put the Lakers at number 10.
I'd put them a little higher, but I think 10's okay.
10's okay. Let's wait. All right, so let's do all right, so let's do number 10. We got number 10, we got the Lakers. I think the Lakers are the 10th best team in the league. Anytime you got LeBron, AD, Austin Reeves, like you have a chance of being a top 10 team. Number 9, I'm going Dallas at number 9. Dallas has been playing pretty well, so I'm gonna give them.
Dallas,
Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
yeah. Dallas is number 9 for us. At 8, I'm going Suns at 8. They've been playing really well. They've been like leapfrogging teams in the West. So I'm gonna say they are the 8th best team. And plus, like I just watched them like play really well against Orlando, who's the second best defensive team in the league right now. So I say they are number 8.
True.
Yeah. Where's the Suns? Yeah, number 8, the Suns. Number 7, Cole. Who do you have as the 7th best team in the league according to us?
I think I'd probably have to go with the maybe the Sixers, maybe? I don't know. It's close. It's close.
I want to say, oh man, I want to go. No, jeez. Luca, can you help? Who do you think should be the 7th best team? We have 10 Lakers, 9 Mavs, 8 Suns. Who do you think is the 7th best team?
Hmm. Maybe the Heat?
Heat again? Yeah, I would say Heat at 7. All right. Number 6. I think 6 should go to. I think 6 should go to Philly. I think 6 should go to Philly.
Yeah.
Cole, would you say 6 is Philly?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. At 5, Jesus. Oh man. Oh man, this is hard. I'm gonna go Denver 5. I'm gonna go Denver 5 with this one.
Okay.
You know, Jokic right now is playing really out of his mind right now.
Yeah.
So like 5 is Nuggets. 4, I'm actually going Thunder 4. I think we did Thunder 4 last week.
Really? Even though how they played against the Celtics?
Yeah, I mean, like they've been playing okay. Like I think right now they're the 4th best team in the league right now. I think that's I would say who's number 4. Who would you guys put number 4?
Hmm.
It's either them or the Timberwolves to me. Like,
Yeah. Or, I mean, what about the Knicks though, too?
oh, I mean, but where are the Knicks in the standings right now?
I'm trying to see.
The Knickerbockers. Um, the Knicks. The Knicks are the 7th seed right now.
Hmm.
I would put. I'll put the. I'll put. I would put. I would put Denver 4. I mean, I would put. I actually no. Yeah, I'm gonna put. Yeah, I'm gonna put the 6. I'm gonna put the. Actually, no. I'm gonna put the Kings at 4 right now. Actually,
Kings at really? Kings at 4?
I mean they've been playing all right. They've been playing good
Mm-hmm.
basketball. So like,
Above the Nuggets, though.
oh yeah, that's true. The Nuggets. I would say right now, I would put the Thunder at 4. Thunder at 4 right now. Just the way
Okay.
that 4. All right. 3, I think 3 is the Timberwolves. You know,
Yeah.
yes, they lost to the Knicks, but like they've been playing great all year. Number 2, let's go Bucks too, you know. And I think number 1, even though Luka does not like this team whatsoever,
Mm-hmm.
like Boston's number 1. Yes, I know they lost to OKC tonight, but like this team's been the best team all year. But
Yeah.
what can you say? So that's our courtside hierarchy power rankings for week 10 of the NBA season. Let us know in the comment section below what you agree with and disagree with. And now finally, we are going to be doing our NBA Immaculate Grid of the day. All right. The way this works, we have to match the player with the teams that they both played for. So here we go. All right, let's do Clippers Wizards. And I'm gonna let you guys use your phone if you guys can aim on the top of your head. I would say Clippers. I know this one. This one's like John Wall. John Wall.
That's John Wall.
Yeah,
That's
let's
what I
do.
was thinking too.
Yeah, John Wall.
Got Moses Malone.
Oh yeah, that's true. John Wall. All right. Clippers Cavs. Oh jeez. Who you guys could who do you guys who would you guys put under Clippers Cavs?
Mm.
Cole, who would you put under Clippers Cavs?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Really sure.
Well, while we're thinking, let's get this easy one out of the way. We got Heat Cavs, LeBron James. You know, that's like
Hmm.
LeBron. Um Heat Timberwolves, Kevin Love. I think we all could agree, Kevin Love, you know.
Yeah,
And then
Kevin Love.
and then Magic Cavs, Shaq, because remember Shaq used to start in Orlando, and then I think Shaq was somewhat like a journeyman in terms of like teams he played for. He played with the Cavs once, actually. Not a lot of people knew that. So
I didn't
Shaq,
know that actually.
Shaq. Now it comes down to these 5 that I really get stumped. Heat and the Wizards. Jesus Christ. Any luck, Luca, on who you think Heat and Wizards kind of match up well with?
Not really.
Cole, what about you?
Yeah, not really I can think of.
I think Magic was. Oh wait, I remember Dwight Howard. Not a lot of people knew Dwight Howard played for the Wizards. Actually,
I didn't know that either.
yeah. Let's join Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard. Now the Magic and the Timberwolves. This one throws me off for some weird reason. I didn't even know this. Oh jeez, who would have played? It's the Clippers Cavs ones that really stumps me. Actually, who would you?
Uh, for the Heat Wizards, you got Manute Bol.
Minute. Oh,
Yeah, I'm kind of old head, you know. Only
Yeah, true.
all right. Clippers Cavs. I think Baron Davis played with this team.
most likely, honestly.
Yeah, Baron Davis. Baron Davis. All right. Clippers Timberwolves. Jeez. I don't even know, to be honest with you. Like the first name that popped in my head was like Jamal Crawford, to be honest with you.
Didn't Pap play on the Timberwolves?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Good one. Good one. Yeah,
Pat Beverly.
yeah.
The GOAT.
Yeah. All right. What is that? crooked smile. Anyway, now it's the Magic and the Timberwolves. This one really stumps me. What do you guys have any luck?
Hmm.
Let's try. I know this is crazy, but let's try Mike Miller and see what happens. Remember Mike Miller when he used to play with Miami?
I do.
Luca, do you remember Mike Miller?
I don't, not really.
All right,
I don't know, Kihyun, this is all on you, man.
all right. Let's try Mike Miller and see what happens. All right. Okay, we got it. Let's see who the Russell Westbrook, Mo Williams, Patrick Beverly.
Damn, the Jimmy Butler cut, insane.
Right. Oh, that's right. Jimmy did play with Miami, Minnesota, and then LeBron,
Hmm.
Juwan Howard, Dwight Howard, Shaq, and Mike Miller. So what do you guys think how we did? Let us know in the comment section below. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Courtside Podcast. If you did, please give a like, subscribe, turn the post notification bell. Hope you have a fantastic Tuesday. Stay safe, stay warm, stay aggressive, and until next time, we out. Peace.